told you that Dayton home prices jumped 30% this year. Could this be your last chance to purchase that home before they skyrocket even more? That's what we're talking about today. My name is Candace Sarber, and I'm your local realtor here in Dayton, Ohio, and the surrounding suburbs. I've been helping hundreds of buyers and sellers, just like you, avoid costly mistakes that are based on the market data and land your dream home right here in the Gem City. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or maybe you're just even curious, this November 2025 updates on October numbers will actually arm you with the facts to dodge regrets and seize opportunities. If you'd like a personalized market breakdown for your exact neighborhood, or you just want to walk through maybe what these figures would mean for you, there's going to be a link below. Jump on a call with me, or I'll go ahead and attach a downloadable free Dayton relocation guide if you're coming in from out of the area, which it seems like a lot of people are nowadays. So let's get started. We're going to look at the big picture first. So across the entire Dayton Metro area, the prices, median home prices, ranged about $255,000 to $260,000 year over year. That's about 4 to 5% up from last October. Inventory right now here in Dayton is sitting around 2.1 months of supply. We're still technically in a seller's market. The buyers are having a little bit more breathing room since the average time on the market currently is about 27 days depending on where you're located. And as you know, all real estate is local, so it depends on neighborhoods. Now let's take a look here at a graph that I've broken down, not just by the Dayton city, but also by suburbs. So right here you can see on this graph showing Dayton prices year over year rose 30%, and it's on the far right hand side of your graph, but now I've listed other suburbs on there. Two actually took a small dip, and those were just from smaller sizes, sample sizes, meaning that there weren't as many sales. But all the rest of the suburbs you can see year over year continue to go up in price, and that's how they have been the last several years. Let's take a look at buyers' affordability because everyone's asking, should I wait for rates to continue to drop further? Here's the reality. I made this graph for you to show you what has happened over 2025. So back in January, rates were roughly 7%. The typical home, let's just say in one of the suburbs that you were looking at, was priced around $400,000. What this means for you is that worked out to a monthly principal and interest payment of around $21.29 per month. Of course, that's using 20% down payment, which I'll cover in another video. You definitely do not have to have a 20% down payment. But let's fast forward all the way to this last month, October. Interest rates slipped down to 6.22%, which was fantastic, but prices in those same suburbs have also climbed throughout the year. So therefore, that house that was $400,000 now is $430,000, making your payment $2,111, only a difference of $18. So even though we were seeing lower rates, which is super nice, the prices are also going up. So sometimes that can backfire on you if you're waiting because home prices continue to move up. So that brings us now to talk about our mortgage rate trends. So looking at the last year, as I just said, rates started out 7%. They actually went up a little bit higher in May, and then they come back down to the low sixes. Experts right now are thinking that they're going to still hang out around the low sixes into the first part of 2026. Of course, we're not at 2021 low rates, but of course, I don't think those are ever going to come back. So let's talk about mortgages real quick. Here at Howard Hanna Real Estate Mortgage, we have several programs that are currently helping buyers and sellers. So number one, sellers are really taking advantage of the Buy Before You Sell program, which actually means that you can purchase a house before you sell your other house that you're living in right now. The two programs that buyers are really taking advantage of this last summer was the Money Back Guarantee and our Cash Guarantee program. If you want more information about those two programs, let me know and I'll just send you over information. But those programs are actually being able to have you fully underwritten, meaning you can take your finance contingency off of that offer, and sellers are more open to accepting that offer right away because it's obviously like a cash offer. So for sellers, you still have a strong market, but buyers are more selective. If your home is clean, it is staged properly, and it's priced accordingly, your house will sell within a week or two. However, if you are trying to overshoot the market and price it way too high, your house is sitting a lot longer. Right now, last month alone, there's 16% of all Dayton homes had to have price reductions. So 1 in 5 homes had to have price reductions because sellers still have not caught on, I guess, that buyers truly are starting to get a little bit more of the upper hand than what they've had over the last few years. If you're a buyer, the coming months might actually work in your favor. And why is that? Because inventory is ticking up. The competition is a lot lighter during the winter months here in the Dayton area. And then you can be able to negotiate again. You can always refinance later when the interest rates go a little bit lower, if that was to happen. But you'll never be able to buy that home that you're wanting to when you see it come on the market. So just keep that in mind. There's a saying out there that you can date the rate, marry the home. And I've never been a real advocate of that saying, just because my very first home circumstances came about that I then ended up selling the home because I was mortgaged too high. All of my money was going to my mortgage. So I never want that to happen to any buyer. So when the time is right, the time will be right. It could be interest rates at 3%, or the interest rates could be at 10%. But whenever you're ready, willing, and able, then your time is right to buy. Let me show you one more graph. This is looking back a couple decades, and even through the recession and the interest rate spikes, Dayton home values have continued to steadily move upward. Prices are more than 2.5 times higher than they were 30 years ago. This is just a clear reminder that Dayton real estate remains to be one of the most stable, appreciating markets in the Midwest. This is why we're talked about in so many magazines. Come and move to Dayton. That's why so many people are flooding to Dayton the last several years from all over the surrounding states. And I know some people locally here might not believe it, but I am seeing it for myself. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, tech companies, healthcare businesses, all of them are keeping our market balanced and healthy. So in closing, if you'd like to talk about these trends and what it might mean for you and your plans, you're thinking about buying or selling here in the Dayton area, or maybe even relocating here, just give me a quick call. I do have my Calendly link listed below in the comments and other ways to contact me. So go ahead and let me know. Also in the comments, maybe what suburb that you think might have been super surprising on this graph. Are you surprised that maybe one of them was going up or going down? So put a comment below. I'd love to hear about that. And then stay tuned, like, subscribe, comment, and you don't want to miss the upcoming community tours that I'm going to be doing here pretty soon on this channel. Again, my name is Candace Sarber, Howard Hanna Real Estate Services. If I can serve you at all this year or coming years, please let me know. Service before self, Candace Sarber, Howard Hanna Real Estate Services. Talk to you next time.